Hello, grade 8 students. Today I will be discussing undefined terms in geometry. So the first undefined term is a point. So what is a point? So how do we describe a point? So the most basic building block of geometry, which is represented as a dot. So that is a point. So it is always represented by a dot, and we name a point using a capital letter. It has no or neither size nor shape. So how do we name a point? So for example, a point can be named as point A. So it can be represented as a dot, as a simple dot, and then just a single capital letter. So just like this one, point A. So you can use the word point and then the capital letter A. I'll repeat, you can only name the point using a capital letter. Next, the next undefined term is a line. So, a line is a straight arrangement of infinitely many points that extend indefinitely in both directions. So, again, when we say line, it will extend in both directions, and it consists of infinitely many points, and it does not have thickness, and its length is infinite. Why is it infinite? Because it will extend in both directions. So, a line can always be drawn given any two distinct points. Thus, it is usually named using two points it contains. So, for example of this one is this figure, and we can name this one using the two distinct points A and B. So, we can use we can also use the small letter M, just put the word line, so line M, or we can also name this one using the symbol of a line with two arrowheads on the top and the two distinct letters or points on the given line. So we can name this one as line AB. It is also the same as line BA because again, it consists of infinitely many points, but we can just name two of these points and use it as the name of the line. Okay? Next, the third undefined term is a plane. So plane, it has a length and width but no thickness. Why there's no thickness? Because it is represented as a flat surface that extends infinitely along its length and width. Because again, a plane consists of a line and line extends on both directions. It is usually drawn as a four-sided figure. So how do we name a line? So in naming plane, we may make use of the capital letter found on the corner of the illustration. So for example of this plane, so we have one plane here. We can name this plane as plane ABC using three letters, but grade 8, you would see some name of a plane using the four letters. Okay, but here we're just going to use the three capital letters on our plane. So plane ABC, we can also name it as plane BCD. We can also name it as plane ADC. It's up to you. Or just a single letter found in the interior area of that plane. So we can also name this plane as plane H. So again, you can only use name a plane using capital letters. Okay, so let us have other terms which is related to the three undefined terms: point, line, and plane. And the first one is what we call collinear points. So collinear points, these are the points that lie on the same line. So if all of the points lie on the same line, we call these points are collinear points. But if these points do not lie on the same line, then we call it as a non-collinear. Example, look at the figure. So as you can see here, we have two lines, line MS and line MA. And as you can see, there are points. So we have points A, M, B, S. So what are the collinear points here? So points M, B, S are collinear points because as you can see, points M, B, S lie on one line, which is line MS. While points S, B, M, A are non-collinear points because as you can see, point A do not lie on the same line on where points M, B, S lies. So therefore, we cannot say that these points are collinear, but rather we will call the points SBMA as non-collinear points. So I'll repeat. If the points lie on the same line, then we call these points as collinear points. Next, we also have coplanar points. So what are these points? These are the set of points that lie on the same plane. Okay, if the points will not lie on the same plane, then we call it as non-coplanar points. Okay, so let us have an example. So looking at this box, as you can see, we have 6 faces. It means we have 6 planes on our box. Okay, so let us make use of coplanar and non-coplanar points. So points A, M, H, L. So look at points A, M, H, L. A, M, H, L are coplanar points because they lie on just one line, which is the top face, okay, or the top plane. While KSOA, so look at this one, KSO. So as you can see, points KOS are coplanar points because they all lie on the bottom face. But look at point A. Point A is on the top face or on the side and back face, but not on the bottom face or bottom plane. So therefore, we cannot consider KSOA as coplanar points, but rather we call it as non-coplanar points. So please do remember that if your points lie on the same plane, we call it as coplanar points. Otherwise, it will be called as non-coplanar points. So here's my question. How about collinear points? Does collinear points also coplanar points? The answer is always yes. Because every time that if the points lie on the same line, definitely it will also lie on the same plane. So every collinear points are also coplanar points. But not all coplanar points are collinear points. So looking at our example, points A, M, H, L are coplanar points, but they are not on the same line. So therefore, we cannot consider points A, M, H, L as collinear points, but it is simply just coplanar points. Okay? Next. Okay, we also have intersecting lines. We had this one on last term, but more specifically, we talk about equations. But here in geometry, we will illustrate and give example of intersecting lines. So these are the lines that intersect, the common point between the two lines is called the point of intersection. So the point where the two lines meet is what we call the point of intersection. And please take note that if two lines intersect, then they will just intersect at exactly one point. So example of this is this one. Looking here, we have two lines that are intersecting, and these are lines AK and line MB, and they meet at point B. So therefore, point B is what we call the point of intersection. Okay, so every lines that meet or every lines that intersect with a common point and which is what we call the point of intersection. Okay, so yeah, let us have some examples. Let's see if you can draw and label the following as per described. Okay, with the use of your whiteboard or simply your scratch paper. So plane YES. So just draw a flat surface and just simply put the letters YES on the corner of your figure. Okay. Next, how about point D? So to illustrate point D, just simply draw a dot and then a capital letter beside it. So just like this one. Next, line QR. So just draw a straight line and be sure it has arrowheads. And you have to put the points, the two distinct points Q and R. And last one will be intersecting lines FG and HI. So draw lines FG and HI. Be sure that it has arrowheads and it will meet at exactly 1 point. Okay? Next, how about this one? Looking at the figure, name the following using the figure below. So we have here a box. So number 1, 3 collinear points. So I'll repeat, when you say collinear points, these are the points that lie on the same line. So examples would be points C, K, and D. So looking at points C, K, and D, these are collinear points because they just lie on one line, which is line CD. Okay? Next, 5 coplanar points. So again, when you say coplanar points, these are the points that lie on the same plane. So I can have here points A, C, K, D, B. As you can see, A, C, D, K, B are on the front face, okay, front plane. So therefore, we can consider it as coplanar points. Another example would be on the top, bottom face. Look at the bottom face, bottom plane. We can also have points G, C, K, D, H as also 5 coplanar points because they also lie in just one plane. Okay? Next, how about the intersection of line BF and line AB? So before you proceed or looking at the figure, you have to remember when you say intersection of two lines, definitely they will just intersect in one point. So therefore, when you say intersection of lines, their intersection is a point. Now look at the figure. Look at line BF. Here is line BF. And look at line AB. On what point do they meet? Of course, that is point B. Okay? Next. Okay, intersection of plane AEF and plane BDH. So here, grade 8, always remember that the intersection of plane is a line. So looking at plane AEF, AEF is on the top face. And then plane BDH is on the right face. So as you can see, they intersect in a line which is line BF. Okay? And last one, how do we name the front face? So of course, when we are dealing with faces, okay, definitely it would be a plane. So just look at your front face and just get 3 letters on the corners. So that will be plane ACD. I can also name this one as plane ABD. You can also name this as plane DCA. So it's up to you. As long as the name that you will use for the front face, the points that you use are on the front face. Okay? That's it. Thank you so much, grade 8. Thank you so much for watching. See you again next time.